And we were doing some trip planning this morning with coffee here. Do need to have a little bit of a tidy up today. It's hard to think, isn't it, that this is going to be our garlic breadstick. It's really good for getting marks off as well. So this is the soup that we're going to make. Something that I haven't actually shared on here, and I believe that this has also had a big impact. So it's a passion fruit liqueur.
It's based on a passion fruit liqueur margarita.
There we go. And I've just topped a little bit of parmesan over the top with some spring onions to go with our breadsticks. Good morning and welcome back to a new vlog. Today we are going to be doing a copycat Olive Garden recipe. I am very excited to try this one with you. I have made it before, but it's been absolutely ages. It's going to be the Olive Garden breadsticks and minestrone soup. I can't wait to do it. I'm really fancying that kind of comfort food today. We'll talk more about that a bit later. We're going to head out to Lidl. It's a Sunday morning, so we're going to take a nice stroll. It's beautiful and sunny, and I want to do a few bits around the house today as well. So it's going to be a really lovely vlog today, and I hope you'll enjoy hanging out with me. Please do like and subscribe if you like this kind of homely content. I really appreciate all your comments. It's always lovely chatting to you. Everybody else that loves being at home, loves homemaking and being a bit of a home bird, leave your comments below. Do need to have a little bit of a tidy up today. Nothing major, just a few bits and pieces that are out. Aid's been doing all the washing this morning, a whitewash ready for our trip. I always take on holiday a whole load of white t-shirts. I've got various different styles, but all white because they go with everything. So I take loads. But I took them out of my packing cubes and they were so creased, even though they were all clean. So we've washed them all today and I'm going to get them dry and start thinking about packing for our trip because it's coming around quite quickly. And we were doing some trip planning this morning with coffee here. We're thinking about doing a water park this time. We haven't done a water park since 2019. We did kind of used to do them years ago when the kids were younger. We'd do like one a trip. None of us were overly bothered. It was quite nice that all four of us felt the same. It all felt a bit of a faff, but we did used to meet up with another family that we absolutely loved and we would always do a water park day with them. Then our trips didn't coincide anymore and then we started getting annual passes and you had to pay extra for the water parks, and because none of us were fussed, we didn't really feel like the extra $100 each was worth it for our couple of hours in a park. So we left it, but now Disney are offering DVC members a free water park day for the day you check into your resort. Because we're resort hopping, that gives us 2 days that we can do that. So we've ummed and ahed, and we're thinking we might actually do it. So, and they alternate the water parks that are open now. So we might do Blizzard Beach, which seems to be the open park, which we've never done before. My sister and her husband love a water park. Ben insists on doing one at least 1 or 2 days every trip. So I think we're going to join them on the day that we can do it for free and just go and hang out there for a couple of hours and just see what it's like, because it's something we haven't done before. So we thought that would be fun. So if you're into Disney, if you love the water parks, if you don't love the water parks, leave your comments below. Any suggestions for Blizzard Beach, we would be very grateful.
I got you. You got me. We are two lucky. Emily, your name spells home since the day you were born. You have always known when I need you the most.
We're back in from Lidl. It's definitely busier at the weekends, isn't it, when we go? We literally just did just a few bits. We haven't actually done a proper shop since the very start of January, and it's now the very start of Feb. We've done really well. I think because we had 10% off our Lidl shop, we went full on and bought loads of stuff. So we've still got stuff that's going. And I can't believe we've still got veg out in the fridge, in the garage, that's still there and it's absolutely fine. Got bags of Brussels that I picked up for 8p. We've got potatoes. I've just cut into the cauliflower this week. yeah, so we've done really well. We obviously did stop during the week, during the month, and picked up fresh milk and bread and some veggies and stuff. But we've done very well. So today I have just come back and we have spent £23.31, and this could actually even do us for the week because I've still got meat in the freezer as well. But I've picked up some chicken thighs, the big garlic. They're 39p each, and they had 15% off. We've got bananas. I've got a thing about pears at the moment. I just can't seem to get enough of those. I picked up some watercress salad that was reduced to 29p. Huge, great big courgette, celery, baby spinach. I have got some dried yeast. I'm going to be using that in a moment. There was 15% off mushrooms, Aids ginger biscuits, and Aids cashews, chili flavoured cashews and peanuts. He also picked up the toffee popcorn, and we're really into this at the moment. Well, they didn't have the sweet and salty, so we've just picked up the sweet. The cabbage, I think that was 50 odd p, that was on offer. And then we've got butter beans, taco beans. I've run out of chopped tomatoes. We've got a couple of those to last us for today's meal, and then some natural yogurt. So that was £23. Don't actually think that's too bad, actually. And in the week, all we need, more tin tomatoes. I didn't want to get too many because we've just carried them back. And I think you're going to pick up some milk, aren't you, in the week?
Possibly bread, but...
I'm not really eating too much bread at the
maybe
moment, apart from my homemade.
Say allow for a bit of the bread, but you've been liking tea cakes a little bit.
Only because that's what's in there and it's quite quick, but yeah, so that's
it.
it.
Tastes nice.
Oh, and we've just done 8,011 steps on our walk. So that's rather good as well. And I'm just clearing out the fridge. I've got some cauliflower cheese. We keep these from the Chinese takeaway. They are so handy. And veggie chili. So I can pop those labelled in the freezer. I'm going to have leftovers for lunch. I've got these leftover Brussels that I did in the air fryer and a little bit of salad. So I'm going to mix that up. And I think Aid's going to make himself a sausage sandwich. This salad looks really good. I might actually add some extra chickpeas into that. I'm going to start on the breadsticks now. I will leave the recipe down below. I've made it years ago, but I haven't actually made it for ages. So I have got some warm water. I'm going to add my yeast. It says 1/4 ounce packet. I hate it when I don't really know what I'm doing. Or 1 and, let's do teaspoons. 1 1/4 of yeast. What's that do? By the way, thank you. Lots of you have said to put your yeast in the fridge. So I have just done that. The yeast has gone in the fridge. And 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. And then we'll leave the yeast. I quite like the smell of yeast. It's got a real nice baking smell. So let's add this. And this is the fast acting yeast as well. So we want that to dissolve the sugar and let it do its thing. I am waiting for my new tripod to arrive. It broke yesterday, my old one. The one I use in the kitchen. It was one of the first freebies I got as a YouTube kind of like promotion collaboration, and I love it. It's quite tall, but it's rubbery and it sits perfect on the work surfaces, and I can bend it over if I want to film inside, like if I'm baking. It's so good for in the kitchen, and I have obviously used it so often that the, what do you call them, the little screw things, I've just... The thread, I've completely worn a whole one down.
So the camera
yeah, the camera fell off. So I've ordered one and it's due to come today, so I can't wait for that. You don't realise sometimes actually something so small, what a big difference it makes in your life. Do you feel that? It's smiling at me. Thank you. Right, I think this yeast has proved quite nicely now. It's starting to go bubbly on top. You can't have the water too hot because it kills the yeast, but you need it warm enough to activate the yeast. I've got my flour, I've got salt, and it says here we need 3 tablespoons of oil, which, oh actually I've got a tablespoon here, so that's going in as well. My battery's about to die. Let's do the oil, 1. I've just got 2 cups of the flour in there. I'm adding my yeast mix. And we're going to give that a mix in the mixer and then add the rest of the flour. This is why I hate this tripod. I've got it balanced. It's on my strap to give it so it doesn't slip, but it's just tilting to one side. The smell of that yeast is such a homemade kind of scent. I love it. It just smells homely to me. Let's add the rest of the flour. Give it a bit of a mix. I should have put the other paddle on for this. Think, isn't it, that this is going to be our garlic breadsticks. I also forgot to say, obviously not everybody is going to understand the hype about Olive Garden and why we're so excited. It's a chain restaurant, an Italian chain restaurant in the States. It's one that we used to always go to. We were so excited. They don't do pizza. It is very much like your pastas, and it's Italian sort of like food, but not pizza. And they do the best breadsticks, these beautiful bready, garlicky, doughy sticks. They're so good. And when you order a main course, you can choose to have a soup, or you can choose to have salad that comes out, and they always bring the breadsticks. So we'd always have like the bottomless salad that would come out. It's so delicious, but the soup is equally as good. It's so tasty. So that's what I'm going to make today. I'm going to make the Olive Garden soup and the breadsticks. Right, I am going to leave this to proof now. I might actually just pop it in here and add some cling film on top. I'm just pulling my KitchenAid out just to give it a bit of a wash down. It's got covered in flour. And I just wanted to recommend these wooden bases. The mixers are so heavy, really, really heavy. And the first thing I did when I moved into this house, it would literally that evening, I put the mixer on the top and I marked the quartz worktop. I was so disappointed. I did manage to get it out a week later by using Sif on it, but they are a pain to move in and out. And it was my friend Elise that recommended the little wooden base, and it was under £20. I think it was about 15, something like that. I bought it off Amazon, and it just sits on there nicely, and it means I can slide it in and out from the cupboard really easily, and it doesn't mark the work surface. They do come in different sizes. I've got the larger mixer, so do double check when you're buying one that you have got the right size for yours. But really, really recommend it, and I'll leave the link. It's in my Amazon storefront, so I'll leave it below. I have not moved out this board for months. I think I'm going to move it out. We're burning, by the way, a poison apple.
Is the most interactive way to
What on earth was that? Where did that come from? That really made me jump. Where did that even come from? You had that as well, didn't you? Aid's in the shower. My phone's off. That was so weird. Anyway, I was going to say the wax melt is, I think it's poison apple or something. I'll see if I've got the packet. It's... I think Aid did something through the speakers. He's doing creepy voices through it now, I think. Yeah, I haven't moved this board for months. I'm going to take off the kettle and clean underneath. This was one of the first things we bought when we moved in. I just couldn't bear not having something on the work surface somewhere. And this is what we use to clean the quartz. It's really, really good for getting marks off as well, if you have any stubborn marks. Let's move all this out the way. Definitely needs a clean. I'm going to give this a good wiping over as well and do the edges before I put it back There we go. And I've just taken the kettle off and given all of that a good clean as well. And ignore me, it wasn't, what do I call it, haunted apple? It's called Tiki Room Spiced Apple. It's one from Milo Candles. I've had quite a lot of theirs and I really like them. I would definitely order this one again. I've still got a couple left. I've had it for years. But it's just really nice. It's quite fresh, but it's subtle. It's not a really strong apple. Yeah, it's got slight spice to it, but it's not overpowering as well. It's not like a massive room filler or house filler. Some we can start down here. You can smell them in all the rooms. This one's just a really light one. Yeah, so if you like a lighter one, I'd highly recommend this. I've decided to take all of this off as well and give all this a clean may as well. A couple of hours later, my tripod has arrived and I have done quite a lot of work actually. I've edited tonight's vlog, or finished editing that, and that's scheduled, and I've worked on a whole load of my Patreon stuff as well, so I'm pleased about that. I've even got some stuff scheduled for March. Tripod's here, so I need to do this. Oops. And this one comes with a little phone one as well, doesn't it? I hope it works like my other one, because I love my other mount so much.
The feet look similar.
Yeah, because that's what sticks on the work surface so well, so it doesn't slip. So then...
I think you've got two options. You can either just put it straight on
I
that.
could actually, couldn't
or
I?
if you want it to swivel,
Then I can
you
tilt
can put that
it.
one on.
Yeah, so I think I'll do that.
That's that right there.
Is it? Thank you. Oh yeah, I can see now.
Just make sure that's nice and tight, I guess.
So I think it's only about £18. It's not like it's really expensive, but I can't carry it around like this because I feel if I'm out and about,
It's quite big.
it is quite big, isn't it? But this is just, it just gives me that extra bit of height on the work surface as well.
And it shouldn't slip, which...
Well, it doesn't. This one does that I've got
Yes.
now. Right, let's swap this over. This is the one I've just taken off, so it's a little diddy one, but because
They are really good.
it is, but it slides.
Yeah, if you... Yeah, it looks quite decent.
Let's pop this one on. That's so much better. I am so happy now with my tripod. Who knew that you could wear a tripod out? I'd have never thought that. But now it's not like you can even give it. It's got to go in the bin, hasn't it? You can't give it to somebody.
Yeah, you can't change the...
Somebody could damage their cameras. That's a real pain, isn't
This
it?
obviously has a separate bit, so you could... I don't know if they... I doubt they would do, but it's as easy to get a...
Yeah, right. Bread. I need to make my breadsticks, and I still need to make my soup.
We just have breadsticks tonight instead.
No, I'm really looking forward to this
breadsticks
soup.
and popcorn.
Let's see if this bread has risen. The only reason it's not hot, the only reason I use my cuffs is because I get electric shocks off everything. Ta-da! That tiny little dough ball. Oh, it smells so good. That tiny little dough ball is now all this bread dough. So I'm going to take the bread dough out. Oh, that's so nice and warm. I love making bread. And then while this is proofing again, I can make the Olive Garden soups, which is basically a minestrone soup. That is so lovely. So we need to give this a good old knead. I will leave both recipes down below because I am literally sort of quite following them for a change. I've got my good tripod. I can maneuver it down. Let's knead this bread. Don't want to touch my bread dough. It's really warm. Feel how nice it is. Feel how nice.
Wash my hands first.
It's only us.
That's very nice, yeah.
It does feel really nice, doesn't it? I have got 4 breadsticks, which I'm going to leave there to proof. I have actually got half a dough left, so I might actually freeze that and do that another time. Aiden's decided to try a new cocktail. We haven't had any homemade cocktails since Christmas.
Nope.
And I am now going to get on and make some soup. So this is the soup that we're going to make, minestrone soup. So I've got onions and garlic, a veggie stock pot, cabbage. It does say kale in the recipe, but this was only 59p compared to £1.30 something, so we got that instead. Little baby pasta. I really like little pasta and soup. Spinach, carrot, celery, courgette, butter beans. It says kidney beans as well, but Aid prefers butter beans. We're going to have those. And chopped tomatoes. Oh, do we need any? And tomato puree.
I would love to know, it's not really something we've discussed too much, but are you confident in the kitchen? Because it surprises me sometimes when I make something like it's got peas in it and I get messages saying, oh no, I couldn't make that, my husband doesn't like peas. And so in my head, I always think, well, just leave the peas out or substitute them for something he does like, but it doesn't always seem to come natural to some people. So how are you in the kitchen? Do you follow recipes? Are you like me? You are quite confident and you're happy to substitute things or make your own little changes or use a recipe as inspiration. I am actually following it properly today for the breadsticks and the soup. But I am very, very happy to change things up and do my own kind of thing and just use it as inspiration. So I would love to hear from you and know how confident you are in the kitchen. Is it something that has come with time? Definitely something that it has with me, but I have always loved to cook. Ever since I was a teenager, I've been in the kitchen, or probably younger than that really. It started, I loved baking. So my mum would leave me with like a packet of like, you know, when you'd get the packet cake mixes. She would go to a friend's a couple of doors down and leave me in the kitchen, and I'd come and knock on the door when I needed the oven dealt with. So I guess I've started young, but I've always been interested. I've always enjoyed food as well. I was never a problem child with food. I've always loved my dinners. So I think that helps as well. But yeah, I'm just interested to know if you enjoy cooking, do you enjoy baking? Let me know your kitchen stories. Something that I haven't actually shared on here, and I believe that this has also had a big impact. My parents split when I was mid-teens, and I lived with my dad for quite some time, and I soon learned to cook then. I ended up making meals for us all the time, sort of looking after him. And I think that has played a really big impact in my love for homekeeping, because I ended up keeping a very large house for quite some time on my own. But then when I moved back to England, I became very close with my aunt, and she actually lived opposite where I was living, and we built up a real special bond. And my aunt is obsessed with food. She's actually since become a French trained chef, and she would spend so much time with me in the kitchen. I think because we both loved our food. I was veggie at the time as well, so we had that connection. I would go and work in her health food store at the weekend as well and help her out. And I just remember she taught me how to make a roux sauce. I remember her roasting parsnips with olive oil and thyme, and I always think of her when I do that, introducing me to celeriac. There were so many foods that she introduced me to that I would have never have known about. And quite often now when I'm in the kitchen, I do think of her, because I think I was quite a basic cook before. It seems funny talking about that because I was 16, 17, but it was like lasagnas, it was, your shepherd's pies, all that kind of thing, obviously veggie for me, but I did cook meat for my dad. Yes, I think actually spending the time with her, having somebody with the same kind of passion and showing me the ropes, even going food shopping with her and being introduced to different foods, different styles of cooking, and we would just spend ages looking at cookbooks together. I think that has had a huge impact with my relationship with food, my relationship with the home and cooking, and just spending time with somebody like that. It really, really has made a huge difference. As much as my mum's a great cook, she is very typically your home cook. Like I said, it is your shepherd's pies and that kind of thing, your chilies. Whereas I think spending that time with my aunt took my love for food and cooking to a whole new level. So I do have her to thank for that. And although I don't actually see her that often, I think of her a lot when I'm in the kitchen. So big thank you to my Auntie Karen.
I look for the things
Aid's pouring cocktails. I'm chopping frozen green beans. What are you making?
sour margarita.
A what margarita?
So the passion fruit liqueur.
So it's a passion fruit liqueur.
Yeah, but it's based on passion fruit
Margarita.
liqueur margarita. Never tried it before.
Are you having a rim?
No, I haven't got. I forgot.
Oh, it's a bit late now, isn't it? Thank you. Oh, it smells lovely. Really nice. Cheers.
Cheers. Happy Sunday.
Happy February.
Happy February.
Tastes like I'm on holiday.
Is it nice?
Really nice. Oh, this is your new tequila.
Mm.
I just realised.
Basically, it's very similar to the porn star martini, but rather than vodka based, it's tequila based. And it uses the same Pasau, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right,
So nice.
passion fruit liqueur. It's also got Cointreau in it.
So it's orangey.
Could use like triple sec, but triple sec Cointreau. Drambuie. Yeah, so Drambuie, anything like that. So
If I had this, if I was out, I'd be really pleased.
good.
And it tastes of alcohol. I don't like them when they taste of squash.
I think when I got this actual recipe off the Pasau, if I'm pronounced this wrong, my apologies, but the Pasau,
So nice.
off their website. So it's not one I've made up, but what I will do, I will fine tune it because I think there's a bit too much Cointreau in it, possibly. But no, did you like it though?
I really like it.
Good.
I'm just making sure this pasta's not going over. Breadsticks have fruit well. The soup is made. Margaritas are going down well. Whacked up the oven on full. They need to go in for about 12 minutes. And then what you do is you melt the butter, you add salt and some garlic granules so that when spray them with oil to go in the oven, and then when they come out you brush them over with the garlic granule butter. It sounds really nice, doesn't it?
So, spoiler alert, these breadsticks were absolutely amazing. When I first took them out, I was actually on the phone to my dad at the time, and I thought, oh no, I've left them in a little bit too long, but they were perfect. They softened up beautifully, and I did Olive Garden proud. I'd love to hear if you love Olive Garden. Is it somewhere that you go when you're in the States, or maybe you live in the States and go? But basically, the breadsticks are like your freebie that come to the table. They get given, it's unlimited, and they're just these soft, warm breadsticks with the salty garlic butter over the top. So that's exactly what I'm adding now. They were just perfect. They really, really were. Olive Garden is well known for their breadsticks, and when you order a main, you get a salad or soup bought out as well. It's included. So the soup is also what I'm recreating today, the Minestrone Soup, and it was a huge, huge hit as well. And it's one of those meals where I've made a great big batch, so I'm able to have lunches in the week, or I've frozen portions as well. But I highly recommend, if you love bread as well, especially garlic bread, give this one a go. It's definitely worth it. You could even grate over Parmesan as well and add that to it. But this was it, just brushing over the garlic butter, and the granules give it that lovely saltiness as well, so there's no need to add any extra salt. It was a winner. I was really, really pleased with how these turned out.
These breadsticks, I think they're going to be amazing. There we go. And I've just topped a little bit of Parmesan over the top with some spring onions to go with our breadsticks. I am so excited for this. I am so excited to try these breadsticks.
Do I need to have the big one?
There you go.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
That's so nice.
You know my soup comes with bread.
That is so good. There's something about bread, isn't there?
Soup's nice as well.
The bread's really nice dipped in it. It goes really well together. Let's try the soup properly. It's definitely a winner, isn't it?
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you give these recipes a go. Have a great week. Bye.